News is in fall evacuations and threatens homes. Thanks for joining us for NBC 7 News at 4. I'm Monica Dean.
And I'm Jackie Correa. So right now the fire is holding at 45 acres. It started about 1 this afternoon and then quickly grew heading towards homes. Deputies went door to door clearing people out, but fortunately no homes were burned and there have been no reports of injuries.
The fire started on Lake Garden Drive, just west of the 15, north of the 76. The Santa Ana winds we had earlier this week are thankfully gone, but of course the humidity is still very, very low with bone dry conditions.
And here's a look now at the evacuation area. It's in neighborhoods east of Gird Road, north of the 76, south of Lake Tree Drive, Palamesa Drive, and Wilt Road, and then west of Old Highway 395. There is a temporary evacuation area at Riverview Church on Sweetgrass Lane in Bonsall.
You saw some video just moments ago. Let's give you a live look up over the scene from Sky Ranger 7 of the conditions. You can see a stark contrast from the video that we were just showing you with flames and smoke. Smoke is clearing, but still not gone, but the situation is much improved. You can see firefighters made quick work with retardant, trying to protect some of the expansive properties in this rural area of our North County. NBC 7's Shondell Menendez has been on the scene now for a couple of hours, covering this and speaking with neighbors. Shondell, how's it looking out there right now?
Monica, it's looking a lot better. I'm so happy to be able to say that. Location pin for us right now is just the end of Palamesa Court. And then this is our bird's eye view of the garden fire at this point. Lots and lots of smoke, but I'm not seeing any actual fires right now. Some hot spots, some smoldering spots that crews down there are working to put out. I'm still smelling the smoke, of course, very strongly, but this is good news. This is optimism. This is exactly the direction that we want to be working in. I know, Jackie, you said just at the top of this that we were at 45 acres just about. The watch commander, the sheriff's department's watch commander let me know that we were able to actually get this down to 42 acres by 3 p.m. today. Fire is still moving east, they tell me, but at a slow rate of speed. There are multiple road closures, multiple evacuation orders, and warnings as well, depending on how close you are to it. Right now, we're right in the thick of it. There is no reported damage or injuries. Super thankful. And also no immediate threat to property in the warning zones, but in the evacuation order zones, there are those threats to property that we are still working to completely eliminate. The temporary evacuation zones, that church, once again, 4980 Sweetgrass Lane. And right when we got here to Sumac Road, we met a woman who's lived in the area since 1984.
Fallbrook, we've been through this kind of stuff before, and people are really wonderful to their neighbors. And I'm sure there's a Facebook group called Friends of Fallbrook. I am sure people are already on their volunteering services to come with horse trailers and help evacuate. So I'm praying that everybody gets out without too much loss of property and whatnot.
The man you're looking at, his name is Glenn. He is the homeowner. And as you can see, this fire got really close to his property. Didn't actually damage anything, though. You're going to hear a lot more from him in the 5 o'clock show. I'll send it back to you with the guest.
Thank you, Shondell. And we couldn't hear you there because they're actively working in that area, but definitely the outcome we all hope for.
You could see the retardant just blanketing everything. So Shondell was on the east side of the fire. NBC 7's Joey Safchik now near the fire on the west side. Joey, you've been speaking with people who live there. How is everyone?
Monica, people here are very relieved, first and foremost, that we didn't have those Santa Ana winds that we saw yesterday and the day before, because these homes that were right in front of on Lake Garden Drive could have very well been threatened. We did just get word from CAL FIRE that this fire is now 10% contained, so that is good news. Now, I want to show you what we can see from this vantage point. So first of all, if we pan the camera this way, you have that line of fire engines, and we were told by 2 eyewitnesses that the fire started just up the hill there, where you can see some of that yellow tape. There's also a tractor, some farm equipment up there. And one man we spoke to said he saw it from the very start. He said first there was just some white smoke, perhaps in a tree, and next thing he knew, that entire terrain was engulfed in flames. And as you can see, those flames moved, as we know, at a dangerous speed at one point, but you can see that retardant there that was dropped, and we were told response was rapid, it was quick, and they were able, it looks like, to protect some of those homes at the top of the ridge, which of course is amazing. And the residents here say they are just immensely grateful for the response from first responders, from CAL FIRE. Now, I want to point out that palm tree grove there you can see, and one resident we spoke to said that is just a tinderbox, right? Those are incredibly incendiary, and she's always concerned having those close to her property because they're just so eager to go up in flames. Now, folks here do remember the devastating lilac fire from less than a decade ago, except the one woman you're about to hear from, Leslie Berry, she told us she's a recent transplant. She's only been here for about 3 years, and she has just never seen anything like what she saw today. And I'm referring there not only to the spread of the flames, to the ominous thick smoke, but also to the response from firefighters. Take a listen.
It's a little unnerving, and I'm glad that we have cut down some trees around our place and changed out some shrubbery to succulents, less fire danger, and so I'm very happy about that.
And were you worried at all that it could come over this way?
Yes. In fact, if it would happen 2 days ago during the Santa Ana winds, of course, there'd be lots of big problems. Yeah.
And what you can see right now, of course, is that pink retardant that was dropped to save the property on the top of that hill there. And you're seeing it through a pretty light haze of smoke. When we arrived here just about an hour and a half or 2 hours ago, that smoke was much, much thicker. It was already white, which we know is a welcome sign for firefighters, but it has certainly dissipated over the last hour or so. And before that, it was thick and gray as we were driving over on the 76. That is the update from here on Lake Garden Drive right now. We are expecting a briefing from fire officials in the coming minutes, and we'll have more for you at 5 o'clock here on NBC 7. Back to you.
Sure, a lot of residents breathing a sigh of relief. Thank you, Joey. One more look for you now from Sky Ranger 7, and you can see the haze of that smoke lingering over the rolling hills of our North County rural communities, although a much better scene, notably, than about 2 hours ago.
Absolutely. Let's bring in meteorologist Greg Bledsoe. Greg, and this is exactly kind of what we've been fearing the last couple of days with that red flag warning expiring, but now that it's expired, fire goes, it just shows you how dry it is outside.
Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday, that just because the winds were going to die down, we are not out of the woods yet. We were saying that at 11 o'clock last night, and sure enough, the red flag warning for our mountain areas expired at 11 o'clock this morning, our inland valleys yesterday, but fire danger still very high when we're talking about just how dry it is out there. Let's take a look at our current weather conditions at one of the weather stations closest to where that fire is burning. This is good news. You heard from our crews out in the field that things look better right now. The weather certainly indicates that they should look better right now because our winds have dropped just a little bit over the last hour or so. Humidity has bumped up just a bit. Temperatures have dropped a few degrees. So weather is cooperating as we head into the evening hours, and will continue to do so. We expect that relative humidity to jump up even more so later on tonight. We might see the wind shift later tonight to a more offshore. However, don't be alarmed. Wind speeds are going to drop down even more so. We're not expecting any strong gusts overnight tonight. Take a look at our wind speeds around the county right now. Entirely different story than what we were looking at yesterday and the day before when we were seeing 30, 40, even 50 mile per hour gusts. You can see everything right now significantly below that. And not only that, but an onshore flow right now. The arrows coming out of the west. Typically, when we see that, that helps our relative humidity rebound, brings a little bit more moisture off the water. We're not seeing that yet. The air is still just so dry out there. Look at our relative humidity. Most places around the county still down in the teens. So it is still very dry. And all of our fuel, we know, has been dry for several months. The Santa Ana, not only the one we had a couple days ago, but the one earlier in the week, has only continued to dry out our fuel. So fire conditions still elevated right now, despite the fact that the winds are cooperating. But again, it is good news that over the last hour or so, the winds have started to drop down. Relative humidity has started to jump up just a little bit. As far as later on this evening, we're going to see that wind direction shift, like I told you, but you can see wind speeds tonight not expected to be an issue. We'll keep watching that area, though. But again, at least for now, things headed in the right direction.
All right. Thank you, Greg. And we're getting a clearer picture of the devastation left behind by the mountain fire to our north in Ventura County.
It has scorched nearly 21,000 acres in Moore Park and Camarillo since igniting on Wednesday. The fire damaged or destroyed over 200 structures, many of them family homes. It is California's 8th largest wildfire this year and one of the most destructive. As winds subside, crews have been able to increase containment to 7%. Now residents are returning to find their homes reduced to rubble.
Propane tanks are blowing up, and he was just trying to do whatever he could to save a place that has been home for us for very many years.
10 people were hurt, including one firefighter. Many of those injuries are linked to smoke inhalation. The sheriff's department helped evacuate 400 homes. Many of those orders are still in place this afternoon. Governor Newsom has declared a state of emergency in Ventura County. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
A business in San Diego's Old Town is trying to rebuild after a late-night fire destroyed nearly all of their inventory.
You may have seen on the road, those typical small yellow vehicles. They're called go-cars. NBC 7's Dana Williams joins us now from their lot. Dana, it looks like they're cleaning up and have a lot of work on their hands there.
They absolutely do. A long road to recovery ahead. This isn't a large lot by any means, but it quite literally has everything that Go Cars San Diego owns, including these brand new lithium-ion battery-powered EV vehicles. These are meant to tour people around the San Diego sites. All of this has been extremely overwhelming for the people who spent years to build this business.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So we'll need a new spotlight.
Marlon Cruz is the general manager of Go Cars San Diego.
When I started, we only had 8 cars. So obviously we built up a lot. So just seeing what we built up just gone, that's the worst part, to be honest.
Late Thursday night, it all went up in flames.
I have a friend that works for the Chamber of Commerce. She called me at like 9:40 is when I got her call. And I rushed down here.
The lot is in Old Town. 77 firefighters and other personnel had to come and put out the fire, but it was a little complicated.
The flames had to have gone up really high because that's only, I think, 13 feet. This is about 25, so it had to go really high for that to melt my structure.
Out of 33 cars, buggies, and scooters, close to 30 of them are now unusable.
Definitely taking a big loss.
6 of them, these larger 2-seaters called the E-Sport, are powered by lithium-ion batteries. A battalion chief with the San Diego Fire Rescue Department says the cause of the fire was determined to be accidental. And as for if those batteries are to blame, he says they're so unpredictable that it really is difficult to tell if they were the start or if they overheated because of flames nearby. Marlon thinks maybe they weren't the cause.
As far as I can tell on that one that has the most damage, the actual batteries are still intact, or it didn't blow up. I mean, it could have gotten obviously really hot to the point that they don't work anymore, but nothing exploded.
Either way,
well, I guess everything that's burned, I'm going to make it, I'm going to put it over here.
There is much to do.
Still trying to pick up the pieces and try to see where we can go from here.
Each of the Go Cars are imported and will take time to get here. They'll have to rebuild the awning, fix up their building. But will they close for even a day?
No. We still have 5 cars that are available right now. They're the fancy cars that we have.
So, surprise upgrade for anybody who was willing to take a car out today or anybody who wanted to. All of these vehicles, like they said, are very, very difficult actually to get here. And so the owner says that he's driving additional ones in from Las Vegas and San Francisco. And something that we're not quite able to get across over video is just how strong the smell is here, like a burning plastic. And so this business has quite a lot on their hands, especially when it comes to disposing of these lithium-ion batteries. But for now, from Old Town, I'm Dana Williams, NBC 7.
Yeah, what a cleanup process that's going to be. Thank you, Dana. San Diego police make an arrest in a Hillcrest hate crime case, how they tracked down one of the suspects and who they're still looking for.
And thieves are taking valuable items from a local cemetery. We spoke to one victim about his loss and why he says it's one of the worst crimes to disturb those who should be at peace.
First Alert Weather is certified most accurate in San Diego by Weather Rate, an independent service that tracks forecasts.
Shop the best deals of the year during the Living Spaces Black Friday event, where you'll save big on designs for your home. Find sofas for as low as $395, dining sets starting at $295, queen beds starting at $195, and rugs, accessories, and home decor at unbelievable prices. Plus, pay no interest for 24 months on select purchases with your good credit. And get it all before Thanksgiving with free shipping as soon as next day. Only at the Living Spaces Black Friday event.
Living Spaces.
Grocery outlet, bargain market.
Take that up a little bit higher. You should feel that, like right back here.
Oh yeah, I felt that.
Good. That is so much better than last week.
Thanks. I've been doing them every night while I'm watching TV.
Oh, what are you watching?
It's a mystery.
High quality care that meets you where you are.
Wildfires can tear across the landscape, putting our people, way of life, and the air we breathe at risk. That's why SDG&E invests so much and works so hard at wildfire prevention, because we believe when you have the power to help, you use it.
NBC 7 Sports Wrap, breaking down the week's biggest moments in San Diego sports. Plus, all the action from across the country. Sunday night at 11:35. NBC 7 Sports Wrap is brought to you by Valley View Casino and Hotel, San Diego's favorite.
It's been a huge week on wheel. $40,000. And next wheel.
I'm feeling good. Let's have some more fun.
Will one of these players make real history?
That's how it's done? Yes!
Tonight at 7 on NBC 7 San Diego.
A driver who hit and killed a pedestrian in University Heights last year and then left the scene and tried to cover it up has been convicted of murder. Prosecutors say 38-year-old Brandon Janik was driving drunk when he ran a red light and hit a 47-year-old Joshua Gilliand at the intersection of Normal Street, El Cajon, and Park Boulevard. Last week, witnesses testified that before the crash, they saw Janik passed out in his car in the middle of University Avenue. Paramedics came. Janik promised to get an Uber, but instead he drove off and shortly after hit Gilliand. Gilliand died a few days later. And in addition to murder, Janik was convicted of gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated, hit and run, and filing a false insurance claim.
Deputies are investigating several thefts at a South County cemetery. Since mid-October, dozens of metal flower vases have been reported missing at Glen Abbey Memorial Park and Mortuary on Bonita Road. Now, according to the Imperial Beach Sheriff's Substation, each vase is worth about $1,000. We spoke to a man whose wife, parents, and other relatives are buried there, and he told us about his frustrations. He did not want to be identified.
A cemetery is a hallowed ground, it's a sacred ground, much like Arlington or any other military cemetery, where your family, your loved ones are buried. And then some people come and desecrate those places. That's what gets me. That's what makes me upset.
He told us the vases are about 80% copper, and he believes the thieves then melted down to sell. If you have any information about the case, you are urged to call the Imperial Beach Sheriff's Station. The future of the Menendez brothers is still up in the air. A new district attorney will have to decide if he wants to recommend to a judge to re-sentence Lyle and Eric Menendez in Los Angeles for the murders of their parents in Beverly Hills back in 1989. Dateline NBC has a 2-hour special, The Menendez Brothers' Chance at Freedom. Keith Morrison gives us a preview. NBC Dateline anchor Keith Morrison has covered the Menendez brothers murder case since 1989. It's now back in the headlines decades later.
Then when you put them right back into focus again, it kind of, you sit back and go, wow, yeah, that happened, didn't it? But it's truly a puzzling case.
Morrison's special Friday night will feature his 2017 phone interview with Lyle Menendez about the killings of their parents, Kitty and Jose, in their Beverly Hills mansion.
The interview with Lyle was engaging. It was interesting. He was charming, and he was intelligent. He put his case well. And, I didn't really didn't let up on him particularly.
My father looked like the perfect family man, and I think we've come to realize today that can be very deceiving.
The brothers are now jailed together at the Donovan Detention Center here in San Diego. Their lawyer and several family members are advocating for their release in light of new evidence, backing up sexual abuse claims thrown out of their original trials.
And not even in the 90s, when I was in trial, were people really believing that someone like my father was a child molester, or that a mother would cover it up. And they couldn't get past that.
This time, those claims are front and center, and partly why the outgoing LA County District Attorney George Gascon recommended they be resentenced.
They've been in prison for 35 years. There are those who say life without is life without. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Others say, get with the program. The world has changed.
Frankly, Morrison doesn't know what'll happen next. It's up to the justice system, not him, not Gascon, nor the millions watching on TV, streaming, or social media apps.
It's one of those stories where it divides us. I did the story from beginning to end, according to the facts, and I hope that we've done a good job of it, and it's up to the viewers to decide.
I'm looking forward to watching that. Now, just in the past few weeks, Gascon has supported the brothers' request for clemency with Governor Newsom, another route of possible freedom for the brothers. Now, the new district attorney says he will review everything all over again. That includes their reported rehabilitation in prison.
Coming up, we follow a group who works from Julian to the ocean, walking and working to clean up the San Diego River. Why they're up against the clock to get as much trash out as possible.
Many of us love traveling abroad, but an unexpected health issue can turn a dream vacation into a costly nightmare. How to avoid big medical bills on your next trip.
Taking a live look from Mount San Miguel right now. You can see some smoke off in the distance. We now have 2 fires burning here in San Diego County. Just got word of another one. We're going to talk more about that when we come back.
Hey guys! We brought a truckload of magic. What would you like to make disappear?
All that stuff out there.
When you want junk to disappear, all you have to do is point. Bye. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
If you're looking to sell your house and you want the convenience of a guaranteed cash offer, I'd be honored if you'd give us a try. There are no banks, no closing costs, no expensive real estate commissions. Just go to ibuyasd.com.
ibuyasd.com.
This Veterans Day weekend at More Furniture, you get the freedom of choice. Right now, pay no interest until 2026 and get your choice of offers. Free white glove delivery of your purchase, or we'll pay the sales tax. Either choice, pay no money down and absolutely no interest until January 2026. Plus, with delivery of your purchase, we'll remove and donate your gently used pieces locally. This holiday weekend, it's your freedom of choice. Only at More Furniture, where everyone gets more for less.
Oh, hey, I'm Roy Choi. Smart & Final is my happy place. I always get my meats here because I know it's fresh. Stacks on stacks, and groceries too. Smart & Final, where else?
At Renewal by Andersen, Black Friday isn't just one day. It's a whole month full of incredible deals. Call now to receive buy one, get one 40% off on all windows and doors, plus $500 off your entire purchase. So if you're looking to install stunning new windows and doors, we've got you covered. Call the number below and grab one window or door and save 40% off the second one. And as an added bonus, enjoy 0% financing for the first 12 months. Our team will be there to provide that expert quality you've always dreamed of, giving you the chance to completely transform the look and feel of your space. But you'll have to act fast. This window of opportunity closes soon. Call now to receive buy one, get one 40% off on all windows and doors, plus $500 off your entire purchase, and help upgrade your home with beauty and style. Custom made, made affordable. Renewal by Andersen.
Hey guys! We brought a truckload of magic. What would you like to make disappear?
All that stuff out there.
When you want junk to disappear, all you have to do is point. Bye. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We have some more breaking news to pass along and a live look for you here at a brush fire burning in New Warner Springs. This is just north of the glider port and Highway 79. It's a hilly area. It's an open space. You can see some impressive flames to the upper right portion of your screen there and a lot of smoke. But the positive news here is that there are not a lot of structures or really much of anything out in that area. If you're familiar with it, north of the glider port, the 79 kind of snakes around. So this is an area in the hillside that's kind of north and east of the 79. Let's get on over to Greg Bledsoe because we've been talking about threats of wildfire with all of these Santa Ana winds. Thank goodness we don't have that situation to contend with.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say. Had this happened yesterday or the day before, this could have been an entirely different situation. Fortunately, we're not seeing the winds, but we know how dry it is out there. Another live look at that fire right here, and you can see, and the view you were looking at a moment ago from behind me was from Mount Woodson, well to the south, and you could see that smoke off in the distance. So again, as you can see right here, the topography there, it's there, hilly, that helps the fires burn. A lot of dry brush out there right now. Fortunately, not seeing many structures out there in that part of the county. And as far as our weather is concerned out there, let's go back to our weather graphics here, and we're going to take a look at what we're seeing out near Warner Springs. Wind gusts right now, 3 miles an hour. So it's very calm out there. Winds are also not out of the northeast like we've been seeing over the last couple of days. Southwest, so more of an onshore flow. Humidity is down, though. It is dry all over the county still, not necessarily hot. Weather conditions, for the most part, are cooperating with firefighters there and then the fire in Fallbrook as well. But the one thing that we're really focused in on today is just how dry the air is. You can see our relative humidity there. In addition to that, the fuel is just so dry. And you saw from the chopper shot a moment ago how much fuel is out there. Take a look at our future winds now, and what you can see is later tonight we start to see more of an offshore flow, some weak winds there, more offshore, but nothing to be overly concerned about as far as our winds are concerned. Let's take a look now at our future humidity, though. As we get into the overnight hours, we see a bit of a rebound, more in the 30 to 40% range there, which is good news. It's not going to be as dry tonight, but that's more a factor of just the cooling temperatures. As it gets colder at night, our relative humidity jumps up. By tomorrow, it is still going to be a dry day out there. So let's talk a little bit about what we can expect as we head into the weekend. Saturday morning, clear, still very dry. Another cold start. We saw some really chilly temperatures this morning because of that dry air, because of the lack of any cloud cover, and because the winds are calming down. We will see that again tomorrow morning. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s for certain parts of the county. By tomorrow afternoon, evening, dry, sunny. Will be a little bit warmer for the inland areas tomorrow, and a little bit cooler for the coast this weekend. And then for Sunday, a few clouds possible along the coast. We won't see much cloud cover tonight. Rancho Bernardo, when you wake up tomorrow morning, look at that temperature. 42, clear skies, getting into about the mid-70s tomorrow, so a 30-plus degree warm-up throughout the day. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit warmer for the inland areas. Closer to the coast, Encinitas also getting down into the 40s. Some of our coastal areas in the 40s tonight. Temperatures then warming up about 20 degrees or so into right around the mid to upper 60s. Some of our coastal areas around 70. Here's a countywide view for you. Upper 60s, low 70s at the coast, mid to upper 70s for the inland valleys. As far as the rest of the week and weekend is concerned, Julian a little bit on the cool side tomorrow, 79 for Borrego Springs. It is a holiday weekend for most folks. Veterans Day coming up on Monday. There's a look at what you can expect over the next few days. No big changes in our temperatures. We are going to see a little bit more moisture move into the county, which is very good news. It will not be nearly as dry for Sunday and Monday.
All right, thank you very much, Greg Bledsoe. We are also following that fire in Fallbrook that forced evacuations. This is what it looked like earlier. We'll have an update for you next.
And police are asking for your help finding this woman from La Mesa, where she was last seen and why her family says they're especially concerned about her.
Some gifts are just too big to fit under a tree. Announcing Jingle Jets, San Diego's newest holiday tradition aboard the USS Midway Museum. Be transported into this amazing holiday world, a place that brings joy and magic like you've never experienced. Meander through a wintry forest of illuminated trees,